Aquatic invasive species are causing a problem for bait harvesters in Minnesota. The DNR met with bait harvesters today in Baxter to talk about AIS regulations. As our Scott Sheahen tells us, the bait harvesters say the regulations are killing their industry.
Aquatic invasive species, or AIS, are a nuisance for our lakes. They ruin our lakes' health, as well as interfere with how we use them. AIS have become especially a problem for live bait harvesters, who say the Department of Natural Resources restrictions have driven harvesters out of the industry.
We've gathered here today to try to better understand the process by which people are harvesting minnows and leeches from designated infested waters, and by better understanding that process, we hope to be able to better refine our policies and make a consistent policy for the whole state.
The DNR held a roundtable discussion to get the perspective of bait harvesters from around the state. They chose Baxter as a central location. Before today's meeting, the DNR did some research about how the bait fishermen harvest their bait.
We sent out a questionnaire to try to get some basic information about where and how people harvest minnows, to see if there were trends that impact where risk is or where risk is not.
The bait harvesters say they're the seeds for Minnesota's lake-based economies. And without them, Minnesota wouldn't have as thriving of a tourism industry.
Right now, the live bait industry is very, very fragile. Restrictions have come down on us in regards to invasive species to the point that it's just about strangling us.
They also say they know their livelihood depends on protecting the well-being of Minnesota's lakes and think the AIS problem is coming from another source. And those are the ones that should see the higher regulations.
Well, they work for us, and most of us are very good about, very careful about harvesting in infested waters. We're still having a spread. We have more and more zebra mussel waters every year. And to me, what needs to be done is education.
The DNR says they're going to have a couple more similar meetings across the state before deciding on new regulations that should work to better protect our lakes against AIS without over-regulating the bait harvesters. Scott Sheahen, Lakeland News.
The DNR says there's about 175 licensed bait harvesters in Minnesota. The bait harvesters say that's down from about 460 10 years ago.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.